enemies of fires around. My shields can take a thumping. I'm running low on power. Can't find a USB. I'm pressing buttons while the enemy runs over me. Panic starts, breath is loud. Vision red, this ain't allowed. I think my pants are falling. Apex, I'm really calling. Shields are flying, grenades hit. On the fence, something is hit. Commanding into the sky. On this day I will die.
Of the night, oh, I was alone, out in the dark, and I saw hollow squares all around. Oh, I was alone, out in the dark. Heaven was all around. Oh, let's try together. Let's try together. Let's try together.
brave ships and brave folk from centuries ago strive to find more in the night. Before they could jump, yeah, before space got small, the only way there was to take your time, take a generation, build a shrine to your generation, make your way between the stars, and hope that your children will care for your soul. Achilles was lost to those dangerous computers. Artemis just had one sight. Atlas abandoned except for one poor soul. Demeter turned tribal with no food and cannibal. The fighting kept on till they died. Epimetheus had a thief left alone. His writings recorded as proof. Hyperion had its own second coming. Zechariah, he told them his truth and invented their souls. Take your time, take a generation, build a shrine to your generation, make your way between the stars, and hope that your children will care for your souls. Like a young color virus so dark from an asteroid, medicine cannot save their lives. Odysseus got ill, but they couldn't find the will. Just leave their birthplace and turn to their dark place, and no one was left in life. Thaddeus was lied to, then the secret got out. The factions got lost in the fight. Phobos found Eden, but it just left them bleeding. As aliens ate them and finally followed them into their ships and they died. Spirit hope gone, fetus got a message and everyone started killing. Phoenician head raiders raided their red, and the deacon did betray them. Lazarus didn't have enough votes for all the poor souls to depart on. But Golconda had a viral infection, reached out for help from the modern mankind. Take your time, take a generation, build a shrine to your generation, make your way between the stars, but hope that your children will care for your souls. Take your time, take a generation, build a shrine
and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio,
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
the show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from an orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 496 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix to Fire, otherwise known as the Chief Archivist of Lave Station. Otherwise, Colin Ford will do fine. And joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our head of health and safety, Commander Ed Levice, otherwise known as Ben Mosswoodward.
Here, Colin, and break a leg for today.
And we are having to do with our SRV Banksy. Commander Alec Turner he's been struck down by the lurgy, and unlike Clare, it's obviously man flu because Clare was able to manage it and he wasn't.
Yeah, but it was a bad time. It was a bad time for everyone involved when I was trying to manage it. To be fair, I did cark out for two days, so I totally get it. It's a bit of a ball ache, not gonna lie.
Yes, we'll get well soon, Alec. Seriously. Also, that means that we have had to call in the replacement, and that is one of the Chris Collective.
Woo!
No, is it Chris Mark IV?
Yeah,
It is the Chris Mark IV. Hello.
Good, because I had such difficulty last time telling the difference between the Chris Mark IV and the Chris Mark V, to which I have been now told you have turned totally English because all Scottish people sound the same to you. Which I found very insulting. But so yes, we have the Chris Mark IV, and of course we do have the Chris Mark V today doing tech. So hello to Chris Mark V. Right, if you wish, you can join us live. We are hanging out in Oh, I did mention Clare.
it's all right. I've already spoken. It's fine. We know I'm here.
Yes, we know you're there. But
You don't have to reintroduce me when we've been conversing, Colin. It's fine.
I can't miss out the staff liaison officer. That's Commander Psychit. You know.
I'll get in touch with HR later. It's not a problem.
Hang on, you are. No, you're not. Right, thankfully. Right, anyway, if you wish, you can join us live. We're hanging out in-game, in open, at the bar. I believe you can join the lovely Chris Mark IV.
You can. I'm at the regularly reserved table at the moment with Profane Pagan, who's arrived already.
Oh, that was very prompt of him. So if you can't get to us in game, you can always join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or on twitch.tv/laveradio, or also on YouTube. Have a look at Lave Radio on YouTube if you wish. Right, so I've been out of it for a little while, so I will go around the rest of the panels, see what they've been up against this week, and I think we'll start with the Chris Mark IV.
Ooh, what have I been up to this week? Out of the game universe, more nighttime work and bits and pieces that have been keeping me busy, but did make time to go to the cinema last week. Went to see Twisters at the cinema last week, having never seen the original, which is which has brought this one on, but really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good, actually. I went in with the lowest of expectations. So I ended up having quite a good time with it. So that was kind of my out and about last week. Had a nice weekend with the very sunny up here, very warm, too warm, some would say. So I was actually quite glad when we got a bit of rain later in the week.
What was that,
In-game
14, 15 degrees?
yeah, a balmy 14 degrees. That's too hot for Scotland. Too hot. It's just too hot.
Did
It's
you
just
take
too
a
hot.
look
We
out
all
the window?
complain.
I'm so sorry. I'm not going to say that.
Exactly. I take a look out the window. It goes too hot, and then I stay in. So yeah, that was kind of my weekend. Nice little sort of weekend. Went along Portobello Prom. Went for a nice walk and a bit of. I did a brunch. I've gone posh now. I went for brunch.
Tell me you had a croissant. Tell me you had a croissant.
I went full blown eggs Benedict. I went full blown brunch. I went 100% brunch in Portobello.
That is a certified brunch right there.
Yeah, proper brunch, and then that was it. That was kind of my weekend over. Back to work, the usual radio sort of bits and pieces. In game, I've not had a ton of time in game this week. I sort of diddled about for about half an hour earlier in the week, because I also got some time to try out the new No Man's Sky update because I wanted to see what had happened to my little home planet and see what had happened when all the planetary regeneration stuff had come along and see what happened. So thankfully it wasn't changed too much. But yeah, been going in and doing a bit of that. So that's kind of been my week.
Excellent. We'll move over to Ben Moss Woodward. Okay,
Yeah.
Ben, what you been up to?
Yeah, so like Chris and like yourself, I've not really. I've been hit with a slap of real life with my gran being 99 and not quite dead yet. And got basically an emergency. You need to get up here now. She'll be lucky if she lasts a couple of days. And then a couple of days later, they're like, "Yeah, maybe she's got a few weeks in her yet. Might even be a couple of months. Might even be a couple of years." Oh, gee, thanks, guys. So that was nice. But on the bright side, yeah, I got to spend me birthday with my brother and my sister. So that was lovely.
Yes.
Went to bloody good Thai restaurant in Aberdeen, and I can confirm with Chris that the weather was nicer up until the weather's nicer in Scotland than it was in England. Probably, well, I don't know what it's like now, but certainly until about 10 o'clock this morning. Yeah, I know when I was driving down, it was like absolutely glorious in Scotland, and then it was just like, yeah, and here's the rain.
Just around Gretna Green, was it?
More or less, like just south of the lakes. Basically, when we got near you, Colin.
But I was nowhere there at that time.
Well, no, but it was we were around Manchester. It started raining. I've done no gaming of I've played Once Human a little bit, and I've been quite enjoying that. But that was before my gran was poorly. And basically since then I've done no game, and I set my sister up on The Witcher, but she was enjoying that. Although she thinks, what's Chris Hemsworth's brother?
Liam Hemsworth.
She thinks Liam Hemsworth is too pretty to play The Witcher for the new season of Netflix.
What? And Henry Cavill wasn't.
She thinks he's too pretty.
Henry Cavill is more sort of like rugged than Liam Hemsworth, so I can kind of understand it.
Yeah, I
Should they have gone for Luke? Should they have gone for the other Hemsworth?
There's too many Hemsworths at that point. It becomes a singularity.
I'm there thinking, what? There's another one.
There's another one. The other one was in Westworld. If you watch Westworld,
Okay.
Never seen it.
So yeah, my I've done Smeggle apart from feeding my nan an excess of ice cream, and watching her speak to dead people, and having nice Thai food with my siblings. So that was good.
Yeah, as considering what you were running up there for, I think that was quite a positive outcome, to be honest.
It was.
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to Claire.
Hi.
Hello.
I've been much the same as Chris Mark IV. I chose to log in to No Man's Sky because they did a big update. I'm talking about stuff we did in game first because I feel like there's a bit of a run up to stuff that I did out of game because stuff that I did out of game was really super fun. But in different sort of games, I've dabbled. I've done a little tiny bit of dabbling in Elite. I backseated Katie playing Elite on last night on stream, which was quite fun, while I was doing some admin type things. But that was cool. Elite's still there, but I did go and log into No Man's Sky because they've done this big planetary update kind of thing, which is just, oh, it's beautiful. But when I logged in, the expedition isn't live yet because I don't think it's available. The update's available on Xbox just yet. So once it goes onto Xbox, the expedition will be live, and then I can play the expedition, and I'm really looking forward to it. But where I went to check out my main save on my main base, it's only got like 26, 25 hours in it, around that sort of thing. Went to check it out. It was used to be on a paradise planet, but now that paradise planet is a worm-infected planet.
Ooh,
That is
lovely.
really unlucky.
Oh, not only is it unlucky, it's incredibly screen shaky and noisy.
You're on Arrakis.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got one of the worm infected planets, so every now and again a worm will shoot out of the ground. It still looks phenomenal, but the noise. I like walked around it for like maybe 20, 25 minutes, something like that. And there were like these worms sort of bouncing out with the noise so much. And I was like, you know what? I wanted to stream it Thursday and Friday because it was drops and all of that kind of thing. Because big update and No Man's Sky just drops, and they're really, really good with their drops. Like there's 5 new drops every single day for 5 days. It's brilliant. And it was a super, super noisy thing. And I was like, you know what? It's been so long since I've actually played my save. I'll just start again. And it's been so much fun. It really has been so much fun to dip back in and relearn and acclimatize myself to this world. And it's been slightly buggy. I was in the middle of fighting for a freighter because I wanted to get my Normandy, and I was in the middle of fighting a freighter, and it just at one point just vanished on the screen. There's no nothing else happened. It just completely vanished. So yeah, space games are buggy. I think we can say especially when they do updates. But that was really fun. I have literally half an hour before we started. I completed Mass Effect 2 on hardcore, which means I've just got Mass Effect 3 and hardcore, and then I can do them all again on Insanity to get those achievements. I'm really scared. My hands don't work properly, and this is going to be a huge challenge. So I'm going to be probably drop an hour a night at it, but before I just get so frustrated. So all of that happened. Out of video game world, it was lovely meet up at the weekend, and it was brilliant. We all a couple of commanders and or people from my community, including Alec and Pete came, and then Rocky and Jeannie and Epaphras and Katie. There's 2 Katies. Everybody came, and other people, and we had a really, really lovely time. And I'm so glad I've been ill much earlier than that, rather than then. I was better going to lovely meetup.
So you've managed to collect a Chris collective. Have you also got a Katie collective now?
Well, Katie Chaos and Katie Anna they're pretty much institutes for me. So, like my sister and one of my best mates. And my husband and one of my best mates. So yeah, it's a Katie collective and a Chris collective. Yeah, I feel it. I'm collecting Katies and Chris's. Please submit.
Quick silly question, Claire. How
Hello.
are you finding Dragon Age still? Is that still
Oh,
going?
I haven't. So, I played it last Wednesday, I think. I want to say I played it last Wednesday. I'm really enjoying it. I put it to easy because I was struggling.
Yeah,
I
no,
put
you
it to
said that.
easy, and I'm still really enjoying it. God, they do well. It does world building really, really
It
well.
does, doesn't it?
I'm playing again tomorrow. That's the next time. I think I played last Wednesday. I'm playing again tomorrow. That's all going up on, or like all of that playthrough is going on my YouTube channel. But I like. It's really fun. Like, who knew that all of these narrative games existed? Pretty much everyone apart from me, apparently. I just love these stories. It's been wondrous to discover this. All of these stories that exist in gaming that are so friggin' cool. And then I found out through the medium of Twitter that not only is, because I know bits about Dragon Age, because I'm chronically online, I'm going to know bits about Dragon Age, but I didn't know until this week that Solus was voiced by Gareth David Lloyd, who plays Yanto Jones in Torchwood.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And because I am so close to Cardiff and so close to the Yanto shrine, I'm like, well, I'm going to have to romance him now. Like, what is my other option? And then I found out that Bryony Corrigan is playing Rook in the new one, or one of the voices of Rook, but the voice I'm going to choose of Rook on it's Erika Ishii and Bryony Corrigan are the two femme ones, and then Alex Jordan, who did the sexy voices in Baldur's Gate 3, and Jeff something, I think. There's also the voices of Liara and Javik are in the new Veil. I'm very excited about hearing voice actors that I love in video games. And Matt Mercer's in it as well. He plays the little skeleton boy. Yeah, really excited about Veilguard and playing the other games before Veilguard comes out, hopefully. And so many other games are happening. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time for video games, gang. No matter what everybody would like to have you think. Especially indie games from not only big studios, but indie games from new companies and cool stuff happening.
Excellent.
2 thumbs up. I held 2 thumbs up then, and then I remembered that we were a podcast, and there's no camera on me right now.
No camera on you. It's we just heard the 2 thumbs up in your voice. How's that?
I said it out loud to I painted a word picture, lads. Can you tell that I am a qualified dungeon master? Those are the kind of amazing word pictures that you get from a DMing session with Psychic.
Yes, you're going through door number 2.
Yeah,
and there are 3 goblins.
There's a door. It's got a floor, and there's something against the walls, but you can't really see it. Make a perception check. Yeah, it looks a bit rocky to me. There you go. I'm so good. I'm so good at this.
I'm just picturing what you're doing with these 2 thumbs up.
Moving on from there, I'll quickly bring everybody up to date with what's happened to me. I got back from Turkey and Greece yesterday after a delay, which thank you, Microsoft. And let me just point out, when you're in the middle of a cruise ship in the middle of the Adriatic Sea, and instead of seeing the navigation displays, you see a blue screen of death, because it affected all the cruise ships, all the airports. It got us all.
What, on your ship as well?
Yes.
Oh, bloody hell, that's awesome.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I was there. I was probably late up coming back from the bar, and I went, that screen looks a bit familiar. It looks a bit blue screeny of death.
Were you doing tech support for them then?
No, thankfully. Although I did ask the captain the next day, and he went, yeah, we have to switch the navigation computers off and go back to our backups.
Oh my
and I went,
gosh.
What were your backups? Oh, Android phones.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, it would have to be a different operating system, wouldn't it? If they, like a backup like that, you've got to prepare for like a full system failure. So it would be something different.
Yeah.
I just like the idea they just looked at the phone and said, oh, let's go that way.
Well, these guys are very, very experienced sailors, and they know how to navigate by the stars. And it was at night, so we were doing okay. You can actually navigate quite easily using the stars on a stopwatch. So
We have been
yes,
doing it for thousands of years, after all.
yes. So I was quite reassured, especially. But it's not reassuring when you see the big map of where you are in the world, and you've got a big blue screen of death. So yeah, that was fun. Turkey was too hot. It was get ready for this, Chris. It was 44 degrees.
Nope.
Whoa.
Nope.
But it's a
No,
different
thank you.
heat. It's a different heat overseas.
No. This
Was it? Or was it a bad heat?
It was a bad heat. It was the kind of heat that you want. You went outside, you breathed in, and you felt your lungs beginning to melt. That's how hot it felt. I mean, I ended up spending a lot of the time in the room because I could not stand the heat
in the
outside.
aircon.
Yeah, in the aircon, and it did feel a bit of a waste. And of course, we managed to get rid of a lot of that stress by drinking a lot, as you may have noticed through some of the text messages I sent during the week. Apologies for that.
Important question, Colin. There was a gift left for you on board said cruise liner. Did you manage to locate it?
Well, you see, this is a thing. The Discovery line is actually two sister ships, Discovery 1 and Discovery 2. Alec was on Discovery 2 and left a surprise for me on Discovery 2 when I was on Discovery 1.
Oh,
that is almost as good as the live stream that you weren't here for. That is so on brand for Lave. You have no idea.
Yeah, so I did actually ask the lady behind the coffee bar because both ships have got exactly the same layout. So when Alec sent me a picture of it, it should be here. And I'm looking at it and going, no, it's not. I asked and she went, no, nobody's ever left anything here. If someone had left something here for somebody, we would have left it in place. And so at the moment on Discovery 2, Alec's little surprise is still there.
You know what you're going to have to do, Colin?
You have to go on Discovery 2 next year.
Exactly.
It won't still be there after a year.
I was going to say, you're just going to have to
there
go
after a year. Holy shit!
now.
No. Anyway, upshot of all that is mean that I haven't had any access to Elite. However, I have had access to Baldur's Gate 1 on the iPad, and my God, have I forgotten how big that game is.
Isn't it?
Oh, I mean, normally, say Mass Effect 1 would take you 30 hours. So far, I've been at this one game of Baldur's Gate 3 on the iPad, Baldur's Gate 1 on the iPad for almost 90 hours. And I haven't even finished the main plot yet. And I've still got Durlog's Tower to do. And then on top of that, I've got to finish that game, export my party, and go into Baldur's Gate 2. So, and we know that game is about 3 times as big. So, yeah. That is, I just forgot. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Oh yeah, and I fell off my bike and I banged my leg up on the very first day I'm back. Thank you, Traffic Council, for actually creating a pothole in the middle of the main road in the cycle lane that is impossible to avoid. So yes, I'm banged up again, but not broken. That's quite important.
At least you both have the full use of your wrists now, right?
Pardon?
Because before you didn't have the full use of your wrists. You couldn't move when you crashed last time. Now at least you have full mobility and it's a bruise, right? Before anyone's concerned or writes in that we're concerned that we're strong arming Colin into hosting.
No. I'm fine. I've got a massive bruise forming on my legs at the moment. Some missing skin on my arm, and I think I bruised a rib. But apart from that, I now know what the difference between a broken bone and a bruise feels like. So I know I haven't broken anything. So I mean, 50 years without breaking anything, and then 2 come along at once, like buses.
We can rebuild them.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
yeah, don't aim for the buses either.
It's funny you should mention that.
No, Colin, no.
No, I had no choice in the matter. A bus road. This was 5 minutes before I hit the pothole. A bus pushed me off the bloody road.
You're joking.
Yes, that's actually standard for blooming cycling to Trafford at the moment. It just seems the buses. I think the buses have little, like kill markers, little cyclist stamps that they put along the side.
It's
Yeah.
only on you.
Anyway,
The first day you were back, there was a communication that went out to all buses. He's back in the country. We need to work.
yeah, £50 bonus for the first one who gets him. Right. So let's go to some actual Elite Dangerous stuff. Development news. What have the devs said this week? Well, not much, apart from we have new partners which have been added to the program. Yay! So, this is some streamers that have been added to the Elite Partners program. We have some very familiar names for some of us. First of all, hello to Katie Chaos.
Yay!
Well, yeah,
She's
welcome
one of my
along.
collective. She's the Katie Collective. We got her.
Yes. And others include Alswolf, Commander Andrew Johnson, DSS _Lave, Mal for the win.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Come he stopped. What?
I thought he stopped.
No, they've made him a partner.
Oh, fair enough.
So has he started again then?
He's supposed to be.
Oh. Right, we've got Stormseeker Gaming, hello, and of course Science Keeper. So welcome all you all you partners, and we'll hope to see you lots of lovely content coming from you soon. So yay! Apart from that, any other game news? Nothing, I'm afraid to say. I think they're scared after the little furore that kicked off last week. I don't know about anybody, but I'm never going to get one of those cargo racks.
Can we park that and come back to it?
I know. I'm beginning to warm up the soapbox myself.
Good. I've kept it warm for you. I've kept it revving over the week, so you can have it, Colin. It's fine.
I've got some tons of aluminium here for your soapbox if you need it.
No, in my luck, I get hit. I'd stand on top of it. A bus would come along and knock me off. Anyway, so let's move on. I think it's the time for the community news.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Now, as Alex not here, have we got a volunteer?
Yeah, I can do it. I can talk about all of these things.
Excellent. Off you go.
Okay, right. First up, Commander Beetlejuice has made a really, really lovely picture for the raffle at ECM, which is in a couple of weeks' time. We're linking to it. It's on Twitter. It's a really cool picture. It's for the raffle at ECM. Highly recommend it. Go and check it out. Secondly, casually, Commander Nick Webb has dropped the best YouTube video of Elite Dangerous that exists after Sticky Bee. And
yes.
that is a big thing. Since Sticky Bee, this is arguably one of the best YouTube best videos about Elite Dangerous that I've ever seen. Nick Webb has been learning Blender for 3 months and has put this together. It's a little animation about Olympic. It is absolutely phenomenal. And what makes it even better is the fact that it has been also scored by Takoso. So not with a Takoso's given him some sound and it plays over the video. It's scored by Takoso. It is it's the music actually goes with the video. So it's a bit like an old school Tom and Jerry kind of thing, how that music was always going with the video. It's fucking brilliant. I cannot sing its praises enough. Link in the show notes. Go and check it out. It's wonderful. Next up. Oh, has anyone not seen the Little Olympic or have seen it?
I've seen it. It's amazing.
I have seen it.
I actually got Wi-Fi just at the right moment on the
Yeah.
shoot. Someone said, "Oh, you got to see this. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, that's very nice."
It's so good.
You will not look at limpets the same way again.
No.
For those of you that haven't seen it and are listening to this before you do, you will not look at limpets the same way again. You will never again abandon your limpet.
Yeah, honestly, I am some of the talent that that the Elite Dangerous community have is just.
It puts you to
I love
shame,
it.
doesn't it?
I love people who learn things, who want to do things and then learn things and apply that, and that's basically what Nick has done. And it's so good. Highly recommend, go and check it out if you haven't. Then we've got, following up with that, stupid things you shouldn't do in Elite Dangerous from Loot and Grind. Has anybody seen this? This is the one thing that I haven't watched yet, and I'm looking forward to it because Loot and Grind is brilliant.
To see this. I haven't seen this yet, I'm afraid to say. So it's on my list.
Yeah, so it's Loot and Grind talking about some of the mistakes that they have made in Elite. And hopefully hopefully along the line is I've made these mistakes so you don't have to, kind of thing. Following up with that, we've got a new galactic exploration history map as of July 2024. So it goes right from the beginning all the way up to now, basically. And it's really good. It's a really good watch. I am not an explorer. I am more than happily will not explore at all. But seeing those that do, and seeing some of like the creative little bits of artwork that people make in the galaxy map on this, you can go and see it yourself by going to Ediastro and uploading the logs for a period of time. There's also like the Fuel Rats logo that's was made over the galaxy as well. So many cool little things and little bits of artwork that people do that must take them forever as well. So much planning that goes with it, but it's very cool to see it grow.
A bunch of us took part in the Fuel Rats logo thing.
Yeah.
I love the angry women with the cat meme.
So good. My favorite bit is seeing both distant worlds go off, because one goes off. You see that in like, one is it 2000 one was 2016, I know that much. So there was one before and then another one, and the first one is kind of like a trickle, and it's like a trickle and then a fountain of like this color expanding over the map, and that is very cool watching. Like we haven't seen. I don't know if we will ever see an exploration event of that scale again, and seeing it in that very, very quick time is very, very cool.
Well, that's technically up to the community, because the community 100%. Were the people that did it. So if someone wants to do it and organize it, then it's perfectly possible. It was managed without any help from Frontier. So...
No, absolutely, and it's like stuff like that. It's like those are the kind of the community things that you're using the in-game tools to do the thing that you need to do. So that's a brilliant use of a community thing. I just don't know if we'll see that volume of people unless Power Play 2.0 flops, or whatever this new base building added feature is towards the end of the year. If that completely flops, then I'm more than happy to eat my words and say we'll see hundreds of people flitting out of the galaxy. But I personally can't see that being the case. Or I don't see that being a thing where that many people leave the galaxy at any point. What's next? The High Wake. We've got a space quiz from the High Wake, which is cool. I know you've done it, Ben. I haven't done a quiz yet. Been busy.
Yeah, I've done it. As ever, he stuck a whole load of things in the background as Easter eggs. Beautiful. Some things I didn't know, some things I did. Watch it, do it, enjoy it.
Excellent. Cool. We've got a wonderful post from Homburger, which is his latest exploration blog entitled "The Highs and Lows of Exploration." It's really good. It's a really good bit of stuff. It almost makes me want to be an explorer, but then I don't again, because it feels like it's such a time investment away from the bubble, which I don't have.
Yes.
Time, blah, 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 time poor. You know how it goes.
Yeah. The FOMO is real.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just like live it vicariously through Homburger's blog, if that's all right, mate. And then finally, Chris Neal over at Massively OP is restarting playing Elite Dangerous and is writing an article about that.
Yes, Neil, who's he's been. I think he was one of the guys that as soon as Ozzy came out, it was one of those turn-off things that, although he seemed to enjoy it, a lot of his community or friends who were playing it didn't. So when they dropped out, he dropped out, and he's decided, right, I'm going to give it another try. And then he's like all of us who take a break from for quite a while and come back to Elite. Is quite surprised at how he's enjoying it and how it's improved. So yes, he's still pointing out things that you think things could be better. I think everybody knows that things could be better, but yes, it's relatively positive article. So yeah. So if you have any community events which are taking place soon and you'd like to shout about it across the airways, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email info@laveradio.com. Otherwise, Alec will find you and put you on the list anyway.
Yeah.
So let's have a quick look at the in-game events. Well, there's only been one Galnet news article this week, and that's to tell everybody that vital reconstruction supplies have arrived for disaster survivors. This, of course, is the end of the CG that I never got a chance to take part in and will never get any of the rewards. Am I correct about that?
Apparently so.
Right. So it looks like it's twice I've missed out on this because I wanted to help out with the Obsidian Ant one, which was the CG so long ago where you got the corrosive resistance cargo racks, and we never managed to complete that one because I was away on a holiday at the time. Not that I'm saying that I would have made a difference, but I would have liked to have.
You would have been the sole contributor and made that one work.
Yeah, and
your efforts alone.
Yeah, my efforts alone would have saved us. I would have been the hero of the galaxy. No. So yet again, I seem to have missed out on my corrosive cargo racks. Yeah, pains. So
Don't worry, Colin,
yeah.
so did I. If it makes you
Don't worry, Colin, so did I, out of principle.
Well,
how about you, Chris?
Did anyone get
I've got my cargo rack to store all the Fargoid things.
Also, are you making sure that you're stocking your hero's cape in the correct area?
my hero of the galaxy cape? Yes, absolutely.
Good.
I've got a special hanger for it in my my large corrosive resistant cargo bay.
Excellent.
Lovely.
Hey, I took an entire T9 through. It was an entire T9. I am a true hero.
Yes.
I have a very, very quick thing just to add that I missed out from the community corner because I didn't know that it was definitely tomorrow.
Okay.
New Buckyball race starts tomorrow.
Ooh, of course, yes. The new Buckyball race. What does that one involve? Or don't we know yet?
Quixie. I will put a link if there is a link available already. I will put that in the show notes because there is. I know there were going to be a lot of extra points that you could get for things from talking to Alec on Saturday, but I'm not 100% on the ins and outs of it yet, and I wouldn't like to get it wrong.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, moving on from the Buckyball.
Sorry.
It's not a problem. The Thargoid War update for this week. Well, there have been 3 alerts, all cleared. 7 invasions, all cleared. The Thargoids control 481 systems, 16 of which have been cleared. There are 3 Titans left, with the Thor control systems coming under heavy attack. That every single system's cleared has been under Thor. You could say he's getting hammered.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, there'll be so many hammer jokes when it finally happens. But anyway, recovery systems, we've got 20 in recovery. So yeah, that's our in-game events.
I've seen there was a forum post about the uninhabited systems have to have 25% less strength required for a retake. There is a forum post about it. Within the next target systems. There's a big thread about next target systems, like 297 pages long. But there was a post yesterday that went out, which was like prior to week 85. There was it took a lot more work to clear an empty uninhabited system than it has done. So there's been something shifted in the back end. Apparently.
Right. Apparently. Fair enough. One of these days I will take down an authoress. I am determined now. I still haven't done it, even though all this time it's been available. But let us move on. There has been no new store alert, I'm afraid to say. Although all the decals and stuff have been released for the last Titan that got rid of.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing wasn't the latest ship skin from that. Was that on a Imperial Clipper or an Imperial Cutter?
Cutter.
Oh, right.
Cutter. That was it. Was this silver and blue one on the cutter? It's very nice.
Yes, I think it would have been better on on my yes. Let's move on from there. Right, I think we'll take a ad break, and then we'll come back with the main discussion.
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere, and they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry, from Harry's Mine. After a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our Crime Scene Cleanup Service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Aries Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately.
Sometimes you don't want all the bells and whistles, you just want a ship that will get the job done fast. Vulcan DeLacy present to you the Python, a multi-purpose ship that offers the enticing balance of manoeuvrability, firepower and all the compartments you need for mining or hauling. Because any mission, any system, any station, it will do. No matter what you throw at it, because whatever you want to do, it will do it for you.
From the makers of the MB5 shaving drone comes the latest impersonal grooming technology. Here at Saracen, we've heard your request loud and clear. You want something new.
applying all the recent technological advances. Introducing the Panther Clipper. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. A shave so smooth it'll shave 10 milliseconds off your buckyball time. The new Panther Clipper from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for.
Choose life, choose a ship, choose a career, choose a cargo, choose a fucking big ship, choose palladium, gold and electrical tin openers. Choose good health, low cholesterol and ship insurance, choose fixed interest loan repayments, choose a space station, choose your friends. Choose leisure wear and matching luggage, choose a paint job and hire purchase in a range of fucking colours. Choose decals, exploration and wondering where the f*** you are on a Sunday morning. Choose sitting in that chair, running mind-numbing, spirit-crushing trade routes, stuffing f***ing junk food in your mouth. And choose rotting away at the end of it all, pissing your last in the void with no one out there to hear you bury or do anything as you drift away in cold space. Until some comes along to steal your ship, your cargo and your clothes, leaving your bones floating out in space. Choose your future. Choose life. But why would I want to do a thing like that? I choose not to choose life. I chose something else. And the reasons? There are no reasons. Who needs reasons when you've got onion head?
Lave radio, transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
And welcome back. Right, for our main discussion, well, as two of us were away for some of the discussion that was happening over the last couple of weeks, I just thought that we'd like to have the opportunity to have our say about the power play question, because trust me, when it comes to cargo racks, we've got plenty to say. So, Ben, I got a rough idea what you're going to say to this, but as far as power play is concerned, is there a new power that you'd want, or do you think is there some suggestion that you can make for a power in power play?
You know what? I was thinking about this since you asked me, and I think I want a giant bowl of pasta to be the new power in power play.
Pasta.
Pasta.
Pasta play.
Pasta play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to work out where he's going with this. Is some kind of pun, or is he just
Pastafarian? Godlike power. You did ask.
I did. Oh, damn. I mean, I suppose it could be a case of pasta cargo container, but
yeah, you could pasta limpet.
Pasta limpets, yes. So right, okay, there you go. That's Ben's opinion.
Cool. Thanks for your input, Ben. It was so enlightening.
It was. Yeah, I mean, I've never made any pretense that I give a monkeys about power play. So why would I start now?
Nah.
Unless I actually start to give a monkeys about power play, I'm not going to give a monkeys about power play.
So this is the thing that we've all got to do. We've got to get Ben to care.
Nah, now that ship sailed a long time ago.
Yeah, Si's right with that.
As Freelancer says, well, at least you can carry our toxic pasta in a size 6 cargo rack. You shakes fists.
Too soon.
Amazing.
As an extensive power play player, I have an opinion on this. Dramatic
Whoa!
pause.
No,
Dum, dum,
I'm so.
Yes.
There you go. Sorry.
In all seriousness, we seriously need another alliance power. At the moment, Mahan is always winning. He's always winning because a lot of people like playing as the alliance, and he is the only alliance power in power play. The Feds have got 2, the Empire have got 4, and which kind of splits the vote amongst the Imperial players.
Very fair, does it?
No. So the one reason why Mahan's always winning is because if people want to roleplay the alliance and they want to do power play, they've only got one option. And I've also met the guys that run, because there's when it comes to organization, most of these powers have their own well organized discords and forums and things like that. And I've met the guys that do Mahan, and they are incredibly well organized, and they've got more players, which of course kind of gives you the advantage. It doesn't matter if they've got a blue princess with good shields. They've got a lot more alliance players, so he's always winning. And the only time they don't win is when they go on holiday, and then it's normally the Emperor that wins. Poor old Hudson doesn't have a chance. And don't even get started on Betrayers. So yes, I would like an extra alliance, one extra alliance power, one less Imperial power, would do me fine. And can you imagine Savlon coming in as a power? I know it was suggested last week. I think that would be funny if it comes in as a Guardian AI power. Mind you, to tell you the truth, I think that would probably be like a whole nother Thargoid War level event. So maybe that's not what I'm thinking. But there you go. That's my opinion on power play powers, and I'm still looking forward to update 20, which is coming in September.
Well, a question, Colin. What do the alliance players think about splitting themselves between a couple of alliance factions?
They'd probably hate it because they like winning. You see what I'm?
Yeah.
But yeah, the main problem with power play, as far as one of the problems with power play, is it's always the top 3 is always either the Emperor, the Blue-Head Princess, or Mahan. It's always those 3, and it needs shaking up so that sometimes Grom will win, or sometimes Hudson or Winters. It needs a shake up because it's too static. And part of that is because, it's a little bit. It has been left behind for quite a while, and it needs a shake up. And I'm hoping if this gives a shake up, that gets people interested. So, yes. Right. Well, moving on from there, it's the question of the week.
That's a soapbox. Just to let you know.
How come the Lave Radio soapbox reminds me of the luggage from Discworld?
Listen, I've had it running all week for you.
So, question of the week. Has changing the rewards halfway through set a new precedent for those CGs that reward exclusive items? And how would you incentivize CGs like this so they make it past their first tier? Right.
Just to clarify, you guys know what happened last week. Do you or not? Do you need me to...
I'm aware there was a CG, and I'm aware the rewards for the cargo containers was...
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, no, we're still here. I think we lost Ben for a moment. It all dipped down. Ben, are you still here? Can you hear us? Excellent.
Me?
Yeah, Ben, are you here? Because you
Yes,
disappeared for a moment.
Yeah. What did you hear?
We went through the CG.
Okay, I know it had CG, and I know the rewards got doubled.
Okay. So halfway through, the CG had completed it. It got to tier 4. I think it got like pretty much to tier 4. It was looking that it was going to complete and be really great, and it was going to reward the top 50% of people a size 6 corrosive cargo rack. And when it did that, it about halfway through the week, Frontier went, actually, everybody can have who participates gets a size 6 cargo rack, and the top 50% get 2.
Yeah.
And the question comes from that. How do you feel about that in general?
They
changed it on Monday. Sorry.
I think they've done that before. I'm sure that there's been a CG where something has happened and they've done that before. I think actually it might have been the sampling one, which wasn't going to make it over the limit because of bugs. So they decided, right, okay, anybody who's managed to make any contribution gets the reward, which caused a stink because not many people had actually managed to attempt to sample a Thargoid.
So to clarify, that hadn't completed yet.
Yeah, that hadn't completed.
And that was due to a sort of a bug rather than just people being good at the game.
Salty.
Well, to tell you the truth,
you and I went completely different ways.
There was me. There was me doing the diplomatic version. How wrong of me.
to tell you the truth, and this is the honest of my opinion, and it's an unpopular one. I didn't encounter this bug, and I suspect a lot of people said it was a bug because it was actually quite difficult to do.
Okay.
I don't know if you'd ever. I mean, sampling Thargoids. This is before everybody worked out how you actually sample a Thargoid properly. So you know they didn't realize you go in cold. You don't try and attract attention. No, they were going in guns blazing and trying to distract the Thargoid while the sample was running, which is it's not the best way of doing it. And of course, not a lot of people were successful with it. And then they said, well, it was going to fail. And I thought, well, I managed to do it 5 or 6 times and only lost 1 Cobra. So, ooh. And you know when people on the forum start passing information, oh, it's too hard. It's too hard. It must be a bug.
Right.
And there was
it's a bug. It's a Thargoid.
Haha. And yeah, it didn't come across as, I did feel that Frontier just backed down and said, right, okay, just let it pass.
Mm-hmm.
There must be a bug in there somewhere. And yeah, it does feel a little, yeah.
So that doesn't apply to this one because there wasn't a bug.
And it made it all the way up to grade 4.
Well, it made it. It was they added another tier to it because it was so successful.
I mean, Frontier are always changing the goalposts of CGs. Adding more things to do if it's going too quickly, taking things away if it's going too slow. I think the thing that I don't recall them doing, although it might have been done, I can't think of anything, is saying, hey, everyone gets this and you guys get 2. I don't remember that happening before, but it might have.
Yeah. I can't remember it either. I just it was it's a very contentious point for me because I feel like it personally I feel like it Elite has always been a game where it rewards those people who are less time poor. And in that way it's sort of it's like giving a 180 to completely turning on its heel and then making it available to everyone, maybe because there's something down the line that is coming that people are going to be needing this.
Well, Colin and I are screwed then.
Well, I don't have it either because I didn't do it. For me, them changing it like that and seeing people going, oh, I'm going to go and do 1 ton, it left a really sour taste in my mouth, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, I understand that.
So I just wondered what you guys felt about it, and then we can move on to see.
This is the thing. They've done this in the past. I would have said, right, put the extra tier on. If anybody hits the extra tier, they can get the 2 cargo racks, but keep the cargo, the 50% to get the cargo rack itself. But for everybody else, once they've got to say it gets to tier 7, then make it available behind the tech brokers with various items that have to be scooped from or got from, say, the Titan wreckage. Because at the moment, there's no reason to go out to the Titan wreckage and get stuff out. And it's very nice out there, but you've got no reason to go. And I think it would have, they've done that before. They've sort of said, right, if this CG passes a certain level, then this piece of equipment is available via the tech broker. Now, the problem with that is it's far easier to give somebody the appropriate cargo racks whenever they complete the CG, rather than going the whole effort of saying, right, okay, this is a new item for a tech broker. We've got to set up the requirements for it. It's going to be more work to do that. And so I think they took the shortest option to make what everybody thinks is happy in the shortest amount of time. And I think that kind of backfired a little.
Yeah.
Can I ask a naive question?
Yeah, go for it.
Why are people being pissy about the fact that they get one for, as you say, just dropping 1 ton, and the people who have put in the effort are getting 2 tons? I understand where you're coming from, Sai, about it leaves a sour taste and it's just like a wooden spoon sort of consolation prize thing. But hey, you get a size a cargo thing.
A cohesive cargo rack.
Yes.
Why are people being pissy? Well, like why am I pissed off about it? Is it like, I can only speak for myself.
I understand where you're coming from about it sort of feels like a bit of a consolation prize and you're a bit salty about.
No, I don't think it feels like a consolation prize. I don't like the way that Frontier and I will bring up you as an example, Ben, like I did last week. So you haven't been able to log into Elite to do the Titans. But you've been to these Titans historically, and you've been around them. You've had a look at some of these Titans many months ago. If you were there like a month ago, well, you should get the decal as well.
Right.
Just because you weren't there in
just
those 7
because I wasn't
days.
there during that week.
Yeah, just because you weren't there, you should get that decal as well. You were near the Titan.
Yeah,
that should have entitled you to it.
I've been doing okay, I see that. So, I've been doing Titany things, and I've been
you've been doing tiny things,
and bringing down the stuff and things like that. Yeah, I get that.
Like all of these people have been working to do a hauling CG. I took one look at it and went, I don't want to haul. I'll go without. And then. And I still didn't want to haul, but for me, and I can only speak for myself because you will never ever hear me speak for a community. But for me, it is the changing the goalpost on the Monday to reward everybody, whether you deliver 1 or 500.
100, yeah.
Yeah, and you get into that top, or you get into like the top 75%, and then also still restricting it to that week. Because my personal opinion would have been, okay, it's been successful, and it's been so successful that we have spin it in law. We've got enough to be able to put them into continual production to be available via tech broker. And then anyone who wasn't there for that week during the CG, and whether they got 2 or 1, now has the opportunity to get it in the future. And at the same time, Frontier didn't change the goalposts. or didn't change not even the goalposts. They shifted the goalposts to give more people an opportunity to take part, but they didn't change the rewards, so it cheapened the effort that some people had made. That's my personal opinion on it.
There you go.
Also, as another subset to that, there would have been people that dedicated, if they had limited game time, they might have dedicated all their game time that week to hauling to get themselves into that position, so that they were in the top 50 or above the top 50, so that they wouldn't drop out. Whereas if they knew that they only had to deliver a few tons or do a day's worth of runs or a night's worth of runs, then that's all they would have done, and then they would have went off and maybe enjoyed another little corner of the game that was going on, instead of dedicating to that.
Ironically, no, mostly due to maths, the more people that took part and only did a couple of tons actually lowered the target 50%, didn't it? So that was it was interesting that a lot more people got their double racks, if you see what I mean. Actually, that sounds just wrong.
I mean, as you say, it's just
Look at the rack on that.
Plug. They managed
It's
to
really corrosive.
I was going to say it's right corrosive. Aye.
Look at those corrosive racks.
Oh, Jesus. And Benny Hill has been reincarnated
Oh my
as salvation.
Carry on, cargo racks. There's the show.
What for? Look at the racks on that. Yeah, is that what the title's going to
Yeah,
be?
look at the racks on that.
I prefer carry on cargo racks, but that's fine.
Actually, I do.
Yeah,
Well
no,
done.
That works. Let's go.
So let us. Are we all out of?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think personally, I see where Claire's coming from, but I think personally I'm okay with it.
Well, at the moment,
there are things that Frontier could have done that better, but I see where they're coming from.
The only problem I've got with it is that if there's a CG coming up that means that, or some task coming up that needs more than, say, 16 tons, because that's the maximum corrosive rack size I've got. If there's something coming up that gives people a massive advantage, having up to 128 tons of corrosiveness, the corrosive rack capability, then I probably feel a little bit miffed. But
wait until it does. Wait until it does.
Look, I mean, if that happens, they have to then basically go and say, you can get one from a tech broker. They have
I hope
to do
so.
that.
When they've done that with literally everything else is made to be anything that's Thargoid related. You can expedite via a tech broker.
Yeah.
It's wild to me that they didn't just do that at the end of the CG.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's down to maybe just development time, because it will take a lot longer to organize that than it is to just say.
They
"All
might
right,
have to
everybody
update
gets
2
one."
rows in the database. Sorry.
Okay. Everybody charge your glasses, because how hard can it be?
Hey, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think it could be that hard. They put stuff into the fucking tech broker all the time. They've been doing that recently. It's changing a table for something to allow something that is already in game by providing certain goods and or services. It can't, this is literally something where I'm like, how can it be? How hard can it be? Somebody from Frontier, please tell me, because I'm confused as to why it could be that difficult.
This is where we need Tom to come on and say, actually, it's really hard. It's a good couple of days' work or something like that. I don't know.
I will. I'm going to ask Arthur in 2.5 weeks. I will do that.
I don't know if Arthur would know.
Well, I'll find out.
Yeah.
This is where you. This is where you find out the tech brokers live on a server of their own in a very convoluted subroutine program that interacts between the main game and the tech brokers. It's it was a sticky tape solution that was never meant to go into production.
I can hear him now,
it rolled out that way.
Well, here's the thing, mate. I can't do it. We can't do it like that because it just don't work. Smoking his cigar and with his pint in his hand,
Let me get this straight. Everybody was saying, how hard it going to be when you look at the racks on that? I mean, is that what we're saying here?
This is where we are. This is the situation.
Oh, lovely. Right. Well, we've had our say. Let's see what everybody else has been saying. Chris, you can start off.
I will start with Katiana. I don't understand why they didn't just offer it from a tech broker due to high quantities of mats supplied post-completion. I can't help but feel that if they'd started with everybody gets one, they would only just have crossed Tier 1 threshold. I feel that historically people have been incentivized by narrative causes, but it feels a bit detached from all narrative at the moment, so I don't know what the answer is.
That's a really good point. Really good point, Katie. Excellent. Well decided. Yeah, because there have been quite a few narrative type things, haven't there?
They have.
Yeah, well,
That's what,
it'd be tied into something that's about to happen. Sorry, Colin, carry on.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say, Chris, so it doesn't matter.
Cool. So I've asked for a little bit of explanation on this one, and please feel free to either let us know on Twitter or in chat or something along those lines, because I am asking for some clarification on this. That 90s kid replied with, this is not the first time that they made changes to CGs or use the hand of God to correct an outcome, no big deal. And then I replied to him and said it wasn't the outcome that was being corrected this time, it was just changing the rewards. And he replied with, correct. They did this long ago. I forgot what it was for. I'm wanting to say corrosion racks or a laser or something, but they made an adjustment like this years ago. I can't remember them making an adjustment on just the rewards when the CG had already been completed. I'd love to know if that was the case. I think the corrosion racks he's talking about was that like the obsidian station where we didn't unlock them because we didn't meet the target, which is in fact the exact opposite.
What happened there was that for every tier that you unlocked cargo racks which were better. So if we got to tier 3, then we would have had 8-ton racks.
Yeah.
Tier 4 would have been 16-ton racks. And we only got to tier 2. So only 4-ton racks were basically unlocked. And ever since, and we were stuck with that until the 16-ton rack was put through the tech broker.
Wasn't there a thing with a laser where we only got one of the sizes of weapons, not the large one or something?
Yeah,
it's very early on.
Yeah,
there's never been like a thing where I can't think of a time before when Frontier have gone, actually we're just going to give everybody the reward instead of just some people the reward, with the exception of the fact that it wasn't registering who was attacking the Thargoids and they just went to people who went to that area. But I think that's a different case than who delivered to a CG. That's slightly a little bit more complicated and a little harder.
No, I do remember I think the sampling one was the one where they just said, "Oh right, no, that one's passed," which was a good job because I think that unlocked some kind of enhanced missile or something like that.
And that was just moving the goalposts and saying, "Okay, you didn't make it to tier 1, but we'll pass it anyway."
Yes,
right.
Effectively.
Cool. Okay, that's fine. We've seen that before. We've seen things move and stuff like that before. That's fine. And then he also added that they used to play favorites with player-based community goals for player-made factions and gaining assets within the system. Psychic and Kremen can confirm this as well. That's a shocking amount of whataboutism. And also, the only thing that I assume that he means with this, with playing favorites, is that. And hi, I'm Psychic. I can or not confirm this. I can only assume that he means when our old faction wrote in our players submitted CG that the reward would be a military installation, and then they subsequently got salty when the CG completed and they received a military installation instead of a military base, which is what they wanted, but they didn't articulate in the in the notes, in the request. And then when they spoke to Frontier and explained the mix-up, Frontier gave them a military installation and a military base. So I don't know where this favoritism is coming from, but maybe it's just me. But on the plus side, thank God player submitted CGs aren't a thing anymore. Because that would suck.
Right, so Nicey is saying, I don't really mind, but then again, I wasn't all that invested in it. From what I've seen, Frontier Development didn't expect everyone to go bananas over the cargo racks, and I'm hoping they won't do it again. In terms of rewards, I think that engineering mats would be great, or superpower rep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not surprised people went bananas over the cargo racks because it was a cool reward. Do you know what I mean?
If you wanted a large corrosive cargo rack, yes, it was a cool reward.
It was a cool reward. It was an exclusive reward, so people are going to go mental. It's no longer an exclusive. It's not an exclusive reward when it costs you 1 ton to get it. I'm still salty. It's still revving.
Oh, where have we got to?
It's on you.
Oh, it's on me. Well, yeah, I have Commander Profane Pagan. Definitely, it sets a bad precedent by reinforcing the false notion that one person cannot reach the top 50% if they start late, or if they are racing against others. The hauling round trip was super short, and a couple of thousand units was enough for a day. Plus, this CG rule change rewarded hundreds of imps who swarmed rare and hunted haulers because they wanted to harm the feds. They didn't participate in the CG, they did ruin it for others, but after the rule change they were able to get the cargo racks. This was a well-designed CG and the reward made us move mountains. We quickly reached tier 4 and 5, and I love that at first we had a unique reward tied to the leaderboard rank. After the CG, they could have announced another CG about mass manufacturing of the cargo racks for everybody. Which, yeah, I think I can understand where he's coming from on that. Which is
100% agree.
Which again is the linking it through to the tech broker thing.
Yeah.
Good. I must admit, I would prefer if they are going to do this kind of thing, they don't make it available for free straight away. Or available for credits, which is technically free anyway. I would like to see a little bit of effort required in order for you to get this, because if you think about it, the 16-ton one, you have to go and get a bit of effort to unlock it. So anything bigger than that, I would hope that they'd do replicate it.
I wouldn't want it just for credits. Just to clarify,
Yeah, I don't want it
just for credits. Make me make effort to do it. Those people put effort in getting it to where it was. Not you, Chris, but other people. Other people put the effort in to get it to that point. Make me also put in like some effort to get it that's more substantial than just spending my money. But not.
You know what? That's just put an image in my head. You know, a couple of years ago there was the meme where it had everybody, which in a square of 9, they had pictures of hero, 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 not hero, 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 hero. There's an image of everyone from Lave Radio with hero written on it, except for Chris in the center with not hero written.
It's the other way around, though. It's Alec and Chris are heroes. The rest of us aren't.
Listen, I contributed to the effort there.
How much did you contribute, Chris?
Do you know how long it
Chris,
takes a Type 9 to get out of the space station? It takes ages.
How much did you contribute?
I mean, it was a full T9 fill. It was
a full Type 9 fill. Wow, a whole Type 9. What did that get you to?
I must admit, I was laughing at Alec the other day because he was saying I didn't know how many I needed because it kept on telling me that I hadn't had enough, so I kept on doing run after run until I reached 500.
I mean,
I just sort of landed my my big tanker full and emptied it all out.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that they learn the lessons from this one, because it does. You know what it does remind me of? It reminds me of when we had so much salt happening about the ship transfers. Because when originally what was proposed when we did the ship transfers from one station to another, that it would happen instantaneously, and everybody got into the knickers into an absolute strop over this because they thought, okay, that's just making gankers' lives so much easier, and eventually it got to the point where Sandra just put a forum poll up and said, right, okay, do you think it should be yes or no? And it just went, yeah, we want a delay on it. Because
that's now why I've got to wait 30 minutes every time there's a Thargoid thing going on for my ship to move around.
Yes,
That's why I've got to pay like a shit ton to get my ships back from Colonia.
No, you still would have had to pay. You still have to pay, but it's the waiting.
And then wait 90 hours.
Yeah.
So now I get to log off and watch Netflix while I wait for my ship to move.
Yeah,
You're the person who makes me do work when I could be playing Elite.
That was the whole. That was the whole point.
Then, Ben.
That was the whole point, because the idea was that if you come across some exciting gameplay and you want to have your friends involved, then get them to transfer their ships over to you, and you could all go and fly in a wing together. But there was too many people that said no. That's just the way that the gankers will find ways to get all their gang over to one place to kick the living poop out of us normal players. And as Elvis Gremlin said, and it would spoil my immersion.
Yeah, that was the shout I remember loudest at that point. Was the immersion.
I really, really, really love the immersion that I get in my game where I shoot massive Thargoids from my spaceship in the year 3310.
Yeah, I know. It's just that I felt when that happened, the Frontier just rolled over and let it happen.
Yeah.
And I think that the game has actually suffered because of it.
At that point, they were like, we're just going to pick our battles, mate.
Yeah. And the worst thing about it, it was always the same people that were complaining about it. And they were the ones that always seem to be involved in a lot of griefing themselves, which I thought was, because it goes the other way. Because if you have got a griefer who's flying around and you know that Mr. Unnamed Wizard is flying about, and all of a sudden, hey, unnamed wizards in this system, anybody fancy coming over and winging up against him? Yeah, sure, we're there instantly. Somehow it did seem to turn the tables on people. So yes.
Would I be wrong saying I'm actually a fan of having to wait for our ships? And I agree, immersion would be broken. Thinking, how the hell is it going to take? How can I teleport my ship there?
Well, you see, the thing is that this is one of the things that they always said about Elite Dangerous. They're going to try and keep things as realistic, I'm using finger quotes here, as realistic as they can possibly make it without spoiling the gameplay. And that's one of the things that really... I know that I had the problem with telepresence on a ship. Suddenly you're just beaming into someone else's ship, and there's no real explanation for it. But then again, there's no real explanation
that's when we jump the shark and we just don't worry about these things.
Yeah, but there's no real explanation about how the death mechanic works. You just suddenly wake up in a ship.
Die, that's how. Yeah.
You suddenly wake up. You're slightly poorer, or you're in prison, and you've been released. So, it is a game, and sometimes you've got to, accept it that way. I mean,
it is a ball-like, and I know whenever I'm like the start of this evening, I've had all of 20 minutes during the show and I had to fly to Lave, and while I was doing that, I parked up at Jameson and transferred all my ships from the Thargoid to Jameson again, ready for the next run. And then when we go to the next Titan, I'll go and spend my time. I'll fly there one day, and then I'll transfer all my things a bit later.
Yeah,
I'll fly there and transfer my stuff, and then I've got all my assets in situ. But I know it's going to take about half an hour, 40 minutes to get there.
And yeah, so that's half an hour or 40 minutes that you could be actually playing in a week with your friends.
The way I usually do it is, I'll fly over just before tea, say, so I'll finish work, I'll then fly somewhere, get where I need to be, transfer everything, and then I'll go and make my dinner.
But
it just requires me being a bit more organized.
The thing is, though, it also gives you that gap, though, where you might discover something else that you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So you go in, you log in, and your intention is, I'm going to be organized and I'm going to transfer. I mean, I've kind of done this before. I'm going to transfer my Fargoid ship because I want to do a Titan run, or I want to take part in some of the ground assault stuff that's going on. I want to do some of the fun Fargoid things, right?
Yeah, I want to
All right, so I'll fly over there in something really fast, fly over my Diamondback. I'm like, right, I'm going to call my ship. What have I got? 30 minutes. Right, what will I do for 30 minutes? Will I sit about here and wait? Will I fly off? Oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll close down Elite and I'll check in on what's going on in No Man's Sky and play that for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then
that's
2 hours later,
Yeah.
and then 2 hours later, I have not logged back into Elite. I've got distracted with whatever else I've done, be it going into another game, be it watching something on telly, be it getting caught up with something that pings up on my phone or whatnot, and then you don't go back.
Another neurodivergent. Hello.
Hello. Someone's just dangled something shiny in front of me, and my eye line has been caught by that, and therefore everything else has vanished again.
Yeah, I mean,
and so it's like...
I know, and if I'm doing these kind of things, I have to be focused on it.
Yeah.
And I'll do crazy stuff like I will set an alarm for 40 minutes time, so that while I'm in the middle of watching cat videos, my alarm will go off and oh yeah, my ship's arrived now, I can go and do the thing.
Yeah, and I imagine that's why they made the original design choice, to be honest. I think the original design choice was you want as few barriers as possible for people enjoying the content in the game while still keeping it fun and engaging. The more barriers that you put in place, the more likely it is that someone's going to disappear elsewhere, be it social media putting in things like an infinite scroll in your feed so your eyes do not go anywhere else, anything like that. And game design is very similar. You do not want to put barriers, loading screens, very slow things in front of someone that makes them think of literally anything else other than the game, because as soon as they do, they get distracted and start going off doing something else. Shiny thing elsewhere.
And it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if we eventually see a return to paying a premium to get your ship moved faster on the when you look at but when you look at the SEO drive and how that has been embraced by a lot of people to expedite space travel and those kind of things, and expedite longer journeys, make things quicker for you. For those, like, everything is being geared towards a space where it's now in a position where it's starting to reward people or are time poor. This CG for an example as well.
See, I thought you were going to be like, you too can move your ship to Colonia for 50 arcs.
No, God, no, not for arcs. No, but for like a premium, an extra, you pay X amount of credits to move for this amount, pay double, and it's half
you
the
get
time.
like premium shipping.
Yeah, premium shipping kind of thing. Express delivery, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that was me trying to spin us back to the answers of the question of the week.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be spinning it back to me. Because I've got MV Colhurn. Changing CGs halfway through only speaks to the incompetence to plan them accordingly in the first place, or shows how much sway the AX crowd has in a game that for the last few years has been catering to their desires only.
I wouldn't.
Wasn't there sort of a couple of AXI videos that were sort of quite whingy about this CG?
Yes. Yeah, there were a couple of and there were a couple of celebratory videos, look what we managed to do kind of thing, of people patting themselves on the back. I'm not keen on that. Keen on that
if
at
I
all.
were Frontier and I'd seen that kind of video, I'd deliberately like, oops.
Yeah.
We that was a typo. We meant to give you, everybody gets half a rack.
100%.
You get a
Everyone gets half a rack.
you get a non-corrosive resistant cargo rack.
Exactly.
It's a cargo rack.
Extra
Everyone.
corrosive rack.
Even more, it melts. It melts the inside of your ship. It's a corrosive cargo rack. Yeah.
But it's 250. No, bigger than that.
I would say that Incompetent. I think it was like initially a really cool CG and a really well planned CG. I just think that Monday change soured it somewhat, and making it Tech Broker Unlock would have been infinitely better.
Yes. Yes.
Mixelplix73 says setting a precedent will be a point for discussion later if it happens again. The rewards coulda shoulda have been set on size, i.e. participation, under size 1 rack through to the size 6 to 7 for the top ranked tier commanders. Benefits are equal to the effort spent. Again, 100% agree.
Yes, that and that's very similar to what happened with the previous corrosive rack thing. That, yeah, I suppose it was too difficult or it was too long. Anyway, Ben?
Yeah, right. So Steak Typhoon saying most MMOs have a sign-in bonus. It serves the same purpose to drive concurrent player numbers for a week. Frontier might consider making them easier in general to allow new time pool commanders to meaningfully contribute. When the CG gives a special module to a percentage of players, it creates a conflict of interest. So you end up loving the top you end up loving the top contributors. You end up loving the top contributors for getting us all to the next tier, but also hating them because they've set the bar so high. This high bar does not entice new time pool commanders to join. As for me, though, before the rear CG was updated, I was planning on doing my part by delivering 1 ton with each of my ults. So even though I didn't have time, a few other commanders would be pushed into that top 50%. Don't lock modules behind a CG without a way to get them in the future. I hope that Frontier have learned that exclusive rewards are exclusive.
Like, give them a decal and then make it a Tech Broker Unlock. Or a bobblehead. Have a bobblehead, lads.
Yeah, well, we all like bobbleheads.
Yes. Yeah.
Give them a cargo rack as a cargo rack bobblehead.
I mean, I might have participated if I got a cargo rack bobblehead. Or give me a hero cape bobblehead.
No, just give me an actual cape. I want my commander to have a cape. It would look
That's
super
No Man's
dope
Sky.
No
with
cape.
my
No
Christmas
Man's Sky for
jumper.
that.
I've got my Christmas jumper and my superhero cape. Thank
If
you.
you're not allowed to have long hair in space, you're definitely not allowed to have capes. That's just asking for trouble next to those engine intakes. Dear, what's happened to Commander Ben? Oh, he just got no. I'm not.
He got sucked off. Were you going to say he got sucked off?
For Christ's sake!
God, why would anyone say that?
I was going to say he's getting sucked into the engines, but I just realised that's just as bad. Welcome back, hey.
Don't worry, Colin, you've got a fan.
Wintermute GP Cobra Mark 4 bobblehead. There you go. That will give everyone one of those instead. Meanwhile, Commander Schnails. Changing anything midterm is always going to cause angst, regardless of the reason. FDev could have handled things in multiple ways that would have made it better. Participation rewards are just fine, I think. That is what they are from the start. The competitive angle is also fun for extended rewards. I think it would have been better to have the rewards for every tier of the CG. This would give more of an incentive to push rather than the last one, which only had the reward for 2 tiers. But all in all, for me, the big message is you cannot change anything mid-term. I feel like I've been saying that a few extra times for effect. It's like, I'm sorry, sir. It seems to be 2 problems with your plan. The first one is you cannot change rewards mid-tier. And the second one is that you cannot change the rewards mid-tier. I know that's just one reason, but it's such a big one I thought I'd mention it twice. Go on, Chris.
So we have got Buxton. For this particular CG, it feels like Frontier missed a trick. They could have made it so that as the tiers increased, the people who hauled the most got better rewards, and it also made it easier to get the rewards. As an example, for Tier 1, top 10% get a Class 3 cargo rack. For Tier 2, top 10% get a Class 4, and a Class 3, top 25 get another class. Tier 3, top 10% get a Class 5, 4, and free. Top 25 get a Class 4 and a free. Top 50 get a Class 3, and so on. That way, it would encourage people to haul more and get the higher tiers of the CG because they would get more rewards if they were in the 10 or 25% levels. It would also encourage people to haul smaller amounts to get the rewards in the lower 50 or 75% levels. If you're in the 75% tier, you still don't mind the people hauling enough to get into the top 10% because it means you're more likely to get a reward or a better reward. I'm not sure if this could apply to other rewards in CGs, but it would have worked well for this particular CG. It would mean that there would be some competition to get to the higher tiers of commanders, but it would also mean that people on the lower tiers are more likely to get rewards. I think that makes a lot of sense because it kind of answers one of the questions that I had last week, which was, did they adjust it because they wanted these cargo racks to get out into the wild? They set the bar quite high in order to unlock them in the first place. Was it, oh, we definitely want them to be unlocked, and then like, oh dear, we didn't expect it to get, finish so soon, or for only a certain amount of people to get in there. It seemed like a weird adjustment. It was like one that they wanted to complete,
Yeah.
but they hadn't sort of put enough there so that people could still get the rewards. I don't know. It's a bit of an odd one. So that from Buxton, I think, answers a way of doing that.
I just don't know if, we joke about how hard it can be. I don't know if they've got the framework for scaling like that.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it would involve a lot more manual action after the CG completes in order to sort of distribute the rewards correctly, or it leaves quite a big opening there for there to be a mistake that then throws off what the reward comes through as.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said last week, it could have been the case that, okay, you're not going to get the big chunky cargo rack, but here we're going to unlock one of the slightly smaller corrosive resistant racks for the people that are taking part. And you still would have got more people flocking to the station in order to get stuff, but you wouldn't have been getting the super special rank. It's another option, another potential option that could have been there. But I think it would have been better if all that had been flagged from the beginning rather than an adjustment partway through.
Yes. Okay, and finally we have Chebswell, who says, I still wear my Scourge badge on most ships from years back. For me, the stories are important. Supplies for the parties was one, stuff to help with Thargoid research, support Empire federations in the system, etc. The prize part is a happy extra, but by no means essential. The story is more important. Any thoughts of players getting an unfair advantage from the corrosive rack or others? Do people who use the old engineer system still have their overpowered, lucky engineered weapons that I cannot ever get now? So what's that? The luck of the draw? Again, my best bit would be if it's a good story or lore element. My suggestion would be for one of the items to build Zachary Hudson a nice retirement home on some paradise planet, with the opposing one being things to help with the next president, whoever that turns out to be, to improve government buildings on Mars. I get it. I get the thing about the god rolls and stuff, but they're so rare, and I would say probably like 80% of them aren't necessarily as good as some of the other stuff that you can get now.
I'm so sorry. I was laughing because I was thinking like the alternate version of the goal is like build a nice government building, and I was like drop bio waste on the atmosphere above the retirement home. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Kremen saying in chat that the new engineering is better than the old god rolls. So I think people keep I know some people, Kremen included, who have kept some of his he's kept some of his god roll stuff for nostalgia more than anything else. But not necessarily for any other reason. It's clearly not useful. I guess.
Right. Well, I guess I don't know whether or not that's the end of this. Has the soapbox been burnt out?
It's still there. It's still going. I can hear it. So it probably will come. It probably will come back out. I'm personally still not done talking about this, and I want to see what happens with the next CGs that come out.
Yeah.
And see what happens. See what if something similar happens. Then if that, because it's going to set a precedent. If people are moaning and get salty about it, will Frontier just cow down and change and give everybody the rewards again?
We also need to see if, in the nearish future, having a lot of corrosive cargo racks is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, how handy is that going to be? Or will I still be able to get away with just having 2?
Mm-hmm.
You're never able to get away with just having 2.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you can open a map room with 2 cargoes or 4.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be really interesting to find out, I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on to any other business. Claire, you have
Yesterday,
tons of stuff.
Fucking hell! Yesterday, Kate and I launched so much stuff. We've done like a big rebrand of sort of like the stuff that that we've been focusing on recently. We rebranded. There it is. We rebranded Discord. Like we have a Discord. We've rebranded it to Space and Chaos. It is because we're not really just. I don't know if you've noticed, I don't really focus just on Elite anymore. So it feels disingenuous to continue with things that are solely, from a personal level, solely an Elite thing. However, obviously, we're still very heavily Elite focused. So the Space and Chaos branding thing is really cool. Really, really, really cool. It's something that we've been working for a while. There's a couple of things. There is a Space and Chaos stream team, which is open for applications. And it's just looking for cool people who like helping each other and building up a community. And we're cultivating the community that we have and building through it as well. There is also something that Katie's working on, which is going to be very, very cool, which is Chaotic Space, which is a new community space adjacent gaming online magazine monthly. I'm not selling this particularly well, but all of there's details on the website. We're going to do more and more details. We're opening up to submissions. Katie is really passionate about this project. She is doing a qualification in editing and copywriting as well. So it's a really good project for her to get her teeth into. So if you would like to contribute or you would like to know more, head over to the website that is linked in the show notes. And finally, which is my baby, and I'm very excited about it. I am looking at the end of the year to do, Mastermind, the game show Mastermind.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Mastermind. It's a thing. I've started start finish all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So we're doing that, but like super fucking nerdy. But I want to do 4 episodes and a finale. 4 episodes of Nerd Brain, which is Mastermind, but you give me a nerdy specialist subject and you have nerdy questions that our team will work on creating the questions for you and learn all about the subject that you have. And then a general knowledge, but the general knowledge round is kind of like more pop culture-y, more sort of nerdy, more space and science and sci-fi and nonsense and all of those kind of things that we all love. For benefiting 2 separate charities, Special Effect and the British Red Cross, 2 charities that are incredibly close to my heart and to a lot of our hearts. Hopefully coming at the end of the year, I'm looking for people who even might be slightly interested in showing off very specific knowledge that they have about certain things. Please head to the website, which is linked in the show notes for that. We launched lots of stuff and it's been really cool. But I've been so busy over the last 10 months. You've got no idea.
Excellent news. And relax. Right.
But yeah, I'm going to do my quiz because it's going to be fun.
Well, keep that level of energy going because it's only 2.5 weeks to ECM.
Well, yes. Come on. Time for another fun, exciting round of, is that a deer or is it a log?
Hey, that is a great game. It is a
Best
country
game.
classic.
Best
No.
Friday night game that you will ever find.
Just no. Just no. Shush.
Yes.
Move on.
No, look, my guy. It's the
Well,
future.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do have one last bit of news, which is always unpleasant. Elan Solo, one of the original Elite ambassadors, I'm afraid to say, passed away last week. It was one of these big C things, unfortunately. Yeah, so I met him a couple of times at various shindigs, and he was always one of the people that would demonstrate, volunteers that would demonstrate how to play Elite to people who were just wondering what that space game is that everyone was on about. So yeah, it's very, very sad to hear. Very nice bloke, and yeah, the tributes have been passed over to him on his Twitter feed. So yes. So moving on from that, we'll just give our usual shout-outs. Sister station Hutton Orbital Radio. It broadcasts on a Thursday at 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.4onthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. I haven't checked in with them for a while. I hope they're still running. We're also giving shout outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts, which have appeared over the last year or so. Oh, God, they've been going for ages. What do you mean the last year? The Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. And of course, the wonderful Loose Screws, who I complimented on their accents improving, but it turned out that the guy who'd be doing all the accents hadn't been doing the show for the last 3 weeks. So, oh well. Yep. Oh. So thanks to everybody who's chipped in on the Twitch chat. And Chris, who have you had visiting you?
We have had. I have not been here by myself. It's been a busy bar again tonight. We have had Profane Pagan, Andy Sharp 42, Siberius Genie Van ZXL, and our other tech specials, our tech friend Commander Ventura, has been in the bar.
Hang on, no, wait a second. I do not believe you that Ventura's logged into Elite. That is absolute
Ventura is
fallacy.
in the Elite
Looking
and
at
in the
him
bar.
as we speak.
That is wild. Welcome back, Ventura.
He's wearing a lovely one-piece white number.
Incredible.
Oh, is it a fashion show? Are they going to stomp up and down the concourse doing the fashion show?
He's been twirling and showing his stuff. Yeah.
Excellent. Right. So, special thanks also goes, of course, to the wonderful Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have created music that we use on this show. But that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find us in the contact links at home/contact us menu on the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out on laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to the Chris Mark IV.
You're welcome.
Thank you to Ed Levice.
Yeah, okay.
And thank you to Commander Psychic.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
The engines are running fine.
Yeah, the engines are running fine. It's good. We're good.
Yeah. Oh dear, how we have been playing too much just to get that every time.
No. You can't play too much. Insanity is coming.
No, actually, just as a side note, I'm really impressed that you're doing that because I just went, I can't be bothered with that.
The one thing that I will have left, complete side note, the one thing that I will have left will be like all of the biotic achievements because I've done no biotic stuff. That's November. Insanity first. Infiltrator. I like sniping.
I like sniping.
Anyway, sorry, Colin.
Yeah, and of course, special thanks goes to our other Chris, the Chris Mark V, for doing all the technical support today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We got you're welcome, and yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Chris is tired, all right?
That's fine. Right. Until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted into it. You need a safe word. Space can be lonely. I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 23rd of July, 3310. When the Lakon Type 8 is released, more than 40% of available ships will use a size 5 frameshift drive. Commanders engaged in painfully engineering a whole new set of Achilles-manufactured Supercruise overcharge-enabled frameshift drives to replace the old-fashioned Sirius ones will have noticed how most of their ships use size 5 FSDs. Nearly 2/5 of ships use this popular frameshift drive size, and the ships that do are some of the most popular ones. Who doesn't have at least some of the Challenger, Chieftain, Crusader, Aspen, Diamondback, Explorer, the FAS, the Dropship, the Gunship, the Clipper, the Crate Mark II and Phantom, the Orca and the Python Mark I and II as part of their core fleet? The other ship with a size 5 FSD is on borrowed time. It's hard to see a use case for a slower, clumsier, less well defended and frankly far uglier medium hauler once the Type 8 comes out, and of course the Type 7 doesn't even fit on a medium pad. It's hoped that the Type 8 will become available for purchase using ARCs at about the same time as the Python Mark II becomes generally available for credits. The plan has been that the Mark II will be available for credits early in August, but this timescale has not recently been confirmed. After the Type 8, 2 more ships are planned for the year 3310, but there's no indication what these might be. A long-haul Explorer to replace the Anaconda as the ship with the best jump range is one possibility. And with the soft spot commanders have in their hearts for the unreleased Zorgan Peterson Panther Clipper, perhaps the galactic authorities will finally relent. The worst part of fitting and engineering new SCU drives to your fleet is the scrapyard of fully engineered Sirius frameshift drives you're left with. Sooner or later, you need to bite the bullet and free up storage in the only way you can. It's painful to sell them, but perhaps one day they'll be recycled as Hutton mugs.